Welcome back, everybody. We've got David Aaronson back on the show. David is the founder of REVS, Refuel Electric Vehicle Solution. David, I love having you on the show because I like talking about, kind of the next phase. And I love cars. And so, this is transportation. You guys are installing these electric charging stations all over the country in apartment complexes. And, you've kind of got your finger on the pulse on, all the new stuff that's coming out. So from a, electric car standpoint, you guys see all the new technology that comes out. What's the next milestone in vehicle charging that you see on the horizon, and when do we get there?
Well, I guess the next horizon is probably wireless charging.
Okay.
Okay. And so what the companies are doing is they're putting the wireless charging, it's kind of like your iPhone when you don't plug it in, but you sit it on a pad and it
Yep.
charges that way. Same thing for a car. Now, in order to do that, the car has to be able to accept a charge that way. And only right now, I'm only aware of a few models that can accept wireless charging. So
Interesting.
for the next number of years, we'll probably all be tied to a cord to charge. But
Yep.
sooner or later, it will evolve into wireless charging at some point.
Where does that wireless charging on the vehicle, where's that located on the models that are out there now?
It'll be underneath the car,
Okay.
like it's on the bottom of your cell phone.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
It, it's it's um uh, it's got a ways to go. The technology seems to be there.
Yep.
And of course we do just multifamily, so uh it's all a matter of cost. And so I'm not sure the cost will ever be effective to put in a multifamily property, but it
I
could
see.
be. I mean, it's just, we're so early on, it's evolving.
Yeah. So you're talking 10 years from now, kind of thing before it
Probably,
really becomes
maybe sooner,
mainstream. Yeah.
maybe sooner, but definitely, 3 to 5 years for sure.
Would the wireless charging be as fast as plugging it in?
Well, it should be. I mean, if it's going to work, it certainly shouldn't be any slower.
Yeah.
It, you know,
True.
now, now, I'm a little nervous about it because there's always there's that space between the charger and the connector. I don't know. There's going to be a lot of current going on between that, and I don't know enough about the technology at this point to say whether that's going to necessarily be safe.
Yep. True. Yeah. There's a
What
lot to think
happens
about when it comes to
if
that.
your dog walks under the car and starts sniffing around the charging pad?
Yep.
I
Zap.
make a rude joke, but
Not a
I
good idea.
won't.
Yeah.
The original hot dog.
Yeah. Oh man, I love it. So how do you think, at some point for electric vehicles to really become mainstream, you got to be able to pull up to a charger and fill up in about 10 minutes, like I can, or 5 minutes, like I can in my truck. So how far are we away from that moment?
Well, they're making some very, very strong chargers.
Yeah,
Okay. Um, that can put out 400 kilowatts an hour, and that will charge your car in 10 minutes. Yeah,
yeah,
no matter what car you have. The
gotcha.
bigger challenge is getting enough electricity to those chargers, because usually you
I
just
see.
put up one, you put up more than one. So that's a big challenge. But with all due respect, your truck that you drive at nighttime sits at your house,
Yeah,
and it's much more convenient to plug it in at home at night, where you don't really need that fast charge. You can charge it all night long. You have 10 hours or when the car sits there almost every night,
yeah, you're right.
and you can get enough charge for no matter it for every kind of battery in that time frame.
I think you're right. Yeah, and if you think about like the range anxiety discussion that people always say, well, I'm not able to drive from Houston to San Antonio because I got to plug in, on the way. But if you think about how often like I drive long distances or my wife, I mean, it's not that often, right? So you
Right,
can
right.
really get away with kind of an overnight charge, and that shouldn't be a big deal. But do you think on the multifamily developments that you guys are working on, you're putting the chargers in, are the owners of those developments open to allowing other folks to come in and charge their cars that don't live in that community, or is it purely an amenity for the residents of that
Well,
facility?
so look, I mean, if you're operating an apartment complex, I'll ask you the question back. Okay, if you own an apartment complex, do you want somebody who doesn't live there using your EV charger? Now, most of the apartments are, have gates or access control
Yep.
to the vehicle. And so if you're gonna have it out there for the public, it'll be in front of those gates, in front of that access control. Do you really want other people coming and sitting in front of your apartment property while they refuel their car? And it's not or they'll drop somebody off and they'll leave it and they'll pick it up in the morning. I mean, is that really a
Yeah.
good use of, is that what you want for your property? I don't
Yeah,
personally
probably
want
not.
anybody milling around my property. Nothing is going to do anyone any good having someone from outside of that multifamily community come hanging around the apartment complex at 9, 10,
True.
11 o'clock at night.
Very true.
So
Yeah.
we encourage it just to be for the multifamily residence usage.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense. And are you seeing, you guys have been at this for a while, David. Are you starting to see some of the initial installs that you guys did early on in the business? Are they coming back saying, hey, we've got more electric vehicles now, we need more capacity? Are those conversations
We
starting to
have
gear up?
we monitor it every month, and yes, I mean, occasionally we do have some that say we want more. The first question we have to ask is there any space on the electrical panel
Yeah.
to put more charging stations up? And in most multifamily properties, that's a significant issue.
Yeah. Oh, that
There's
makes sense.
not
Yeah.
enough power.
Because
There's just not enough power at that
yeah.
property.
Is that a broader grid issue, or is there enough power on most of the lines coming in where if you just go back and retap it with bigger infrastructure, you can get the power there? Which, I mean, all that's expensive, right? I mean, this is like
Yeah.
anything electrical is like extremely expensive, which I
Well, it
understand.
is. It depends where you're at. Every utility company in the country's different. Every city's different. So
Yeah.
some cities like Houston, the center point will come in and give you the extra power for
Okay.
almost nothing. I mean, a few
Mm.
$1,000s, which is which is a real good deal in my opinion.
Mhm.
But you go to other cities and they won't. Other utility companies will not do that. So it just depends on the utility company. Everyone we found has different programs and policies on it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
To me, the ideal situation will be when they can when the solar panels are strong enough to capture enough energy to refuel your car.
Hmm.
Okay. So you don't really need any electrical grid. You just, use the
Yeah.
sunlight.
Yeah.
Of course, they have some products out there right now on the market that uses solar. Okay. But they're too expensive
Yeah.
to um, use in multifamily properties. And not only are they too expensive, they just don't hold enough power yet, but they will.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so, I can see one day that there's a solar panel on and that's what's producing the energy for the charging station.
Hmm.
That will be the best of all worlds if we can do it economically.
Yep. It's getting better. I mean, this is definitely like the
No
world is
question.
focused on making this stuff more efficient, right?
Yeah, there's no question. It's getting better and better. Yeah.
What is the draw, David? Like the chargers that you guys are putting into the average apartment community. Is it akin to turning the washing machine on or the dryer? Is that how
Pretty
much
much. It's
power it
like
draws?
yeah, it's like a wash, it's like a dryer. Yeah. I mean, you
Okay.
put, we usually use 40 to 80 amp circuits, 100 amp circuits. Most washer or washer and dryers are on a 20 amp circuit. So you may find some on a 40 amp circuit, but but they're generally pulling a 40 amp circuit can pull 7 kilowatts, about 7
Yep.
kilowatts an hour. Okay. And if you think about it, the average battery size in a car today, call it 75 kilowatts. Of that 75 kilowatts, the manufacturers recommend that you don't fill it to over 80%.
Okay.
So 80%, you're about 50, you need about 40 kilowatts because they don't like you running it down to zero either. So it's between 10 and 80. So, if you need 40 or 50 kilowatts to fill your car up, that's what, that'll take you 7 hours on a 7 kilowatt charger.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
For the evening, you come home at 6 and you're finished at 2 a.m. and wake up in the
You're
morning
good.
and your car's ready to go.
Yep. Simple as that.
It really
Simple as
is,
that.
and it's convenient. I
Yeah,
mean,
it is.
I've been doing this for a while, like you said, Andrew, and it's funny because I've talked to thousands of people now, and I haven't found one person who enjoys going to a gas station.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay,
I'm one of those
and
people.
I haven't been to a gas station in several years now, and it's okay. It's
Yeah.
convenient.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I'm right there with you.
yeah.
Well, Dave, it's always fascinating to chat about the future of electric vehicles, especially from a multifamily application. We didn't get into the real estate side of this very much, but thanks for answering my random questions as we peel back the onion on this stuff. So good to see you again, David. And we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with you guys.
Thank you.